Welcome. It's Games, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life here, GBHBL.com, and in this video we're going to be having a little bit of an overview of Bloodstock 2019. When we say overview, we mean the main two stages. So last month, the festival completed those stages, put the last bands on. So they're now complete. You can go to their website, check them out, see the lineup, the day splits, exactly what those main two stages cover. Obviously, they've still got the whole of the New Blood and extra couple of bands in the Jägermeister if they do that again this year.
We found some good. We had some treats.
I'd imagine they do. I can't see it not being the case, but those bands don't get announced till further down the line as the Metal to the Masses finals start to occur. They already are. Several have completed. I think recently as well. The most recent one was.
Was it Leicester?
Leicester, yeah, and so on. And a couple of weeks' time, the Essex one has finished as well. So we start getting the finalists and knowing those bands. It's just where they fit in the position. But the one, I guess, the draw for most people is the main two stages, of course. The Sophie Lancaster stage, which is effectively the second one that's inside the tent, and the Dwayne James Dio main stage. So we're going to take a look at those bands. We're going to go through those bands. We're going to have a little talk about them. If we've got things to say, some we're going to be honest about. Either we don't know.
Check out.
Yeah, we don't know what they're about, or we don't know much of their music, so there's not a lot to say, really. It's just a kind of overall overview of a festival that we've been going to for years. That's the thing. We're big supporters of this festival.
All the merch today.
Yeah, we're actually representing some of the years we've been there. This is our fifth year. We've always...
Sixth? No, 2014 was the first one, so what would that be? Sixth year.
Okay, yeah. So it's...
Well, even longer.
Even longer, yeah. So... and last year we were lucky enough to get the press side of things as well, where we were able to interview bands. Fingers crossed we'll get that again this year, so be able to get more interviews out there as well. I think we've come a long way in that regard, particularly on the website, so hopefully we'll be able to really perform in that front. But regardless, we're there anyway, we're ticket buyers. Yeah. We want to do it, we enjoy it too much, so as soon as it's available, as soon as we've got the money, we buy the tickets. I wouldn't say pretty much regardless of the lineup, because lineup always matters, but there's a confidence in Bloodstock, in us, in that even if the lineup isn't filled with bands that I want to see, it's always within my taste, it's always within the heavier side of the music, and there's a likelihood that I'm going to find out lots of new stuff while I'm there. It's that side of things. It's not just about the experience. It's always about the music as much as anything else. But the Bloodstock experience is great. So there is that. Right. So we're gonna start with Sophie Lancaster stage first, the second stage. We're gonna go through them because that actually starts on a Thursday night. Yep. So if you don't know, and you want a little bit of information about this, Bloodstock, while it does officially start on the Thursday evening, that's not the main stage. You do have 5 bands on the Thursday, and that only takes place in the second stage, basically, the Sophie Lancaster stage. The main stage is not open. It tends to start, I think, from 5 p.m, and you get 5 bands to the end of the night, sort of as a warm-up,
nice.
either.
I like that, yeah, because it feels people kind of get there, they meet up, and then 5 p.m, you've had a couple of beers, your tent's set up. If you're lucky enough to be able to get Thursday off, which is always a bit of a bonus. Yeah, get yourself it seems to me, at least from... Here's the thing. Full disclosure, as it were. We've only ever done VIP. We've only ever done VIP at Bloodstock. We've always been in the VIP section, and we are again this year. We started with VIP. We've never experienced Bloodstock from a normal campsite perspective. Yeah. We have done festivals like that, Download and so on. Hellfest was a different kind of...
Yeah, Hellfest in France.
Yeah.
But we've only ever done VIP in Bloodstock, so we've only ever seen it from that perspective. And truth be told, we have no temptation to see it from the other side, because we love the VIP experience so much, and we think it's more than worth the money. More than worth the money. If you've ever been on the fence about it, I can't urge you enough to be like, oh, it does sound good, and there's all these lists of reasons. Do it. You won't regret it. From the short distance between your car, the campsite, the size of the campsite, the extra showers, the Serpent's Lair VIP section, to the walk to the main arena. That there in itself to me, makes it worthwhile.
I think we've got new people as well coming this year that I think the shorter distances will be quite
useful, yeah.
Quite a draw to them as well, because some have not been to a festival before.
Yeah, some either haven't been to a festival in this sense before. Like my son, who's appeared in other videos, Daniel, he'll be there. It's his first ever full weekend at a festival. So, things like that. Your father who's got a bum knee, so, let's walk it.
Many festivals.
Things like that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But things like that, that with this kind of appeals. But it's not just about distance as well. It generally, for us, it's just always been a great experience. It's had its ups and downs, but then
Bloodstock always seems to have recognised that with threads afterwards about what went wrong. I think we had one year where the toilet company was horrendous.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. But that's not what this is about. You know, we're talking, you know, specifically about that. But I do urge you, if you've ever been in a set fence about that, do consider it, because it does sell out. One of the things is, I don't know, is this festival sold out? VIP sold out yet?
Not yet. No, I think the camper van.
Oh, like the
pods,
yurts and the stuff like that.
Yurts and stuff.
And the pods.
Quite, they look quite comfy.
But VIP always sells out. In fact, and I'm pretty sure it always sells out around about June, July, that kind of time. A couple of months before the festival actually starts. So if you are on the fence about it and you've got the money, make sure you do, because it's probably the best way to experience it. Not that, you know, but I can't tell you what it's like to experience from the normal campsite kind of thing, you know. So I can't compare the two. Yeah. It's as simple as that. I'm sure it's fantastic as well, depending upon obviously who you camp next to. Is always that. But one thing I would say as well, as we were talking about, I segued into this because of the Thursday thing. People, when you get there on a Thursday, the camp, at least from the VIP campsite, does fill up quite quick.
Yeah.
Like we've seen people getting there Friday, and it's better now than I think it was before they opened the land. Because originally, when we first went, you had the land and you could park your car almost feet away, a couple of feet away, and then they changed that and put them in the cars on the other side of the road, behind the trees. Kind of walk through a little bit of a foresty area, and then that area opened up, and it felt like it was a lot more roomy. But there was one year where it was a bit like, whoa, this is pretty tight, you know.
Well, they do always say, like, if you've got like gazebo,
don't put gazebos up first thing when you get there. And see what the lay of the land is come like
Friday.
Saturday.
Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Give everyone a fair chance. Which
Exactly.
Is fair enough.
Yeah, because people want room as well. So there you go. But of course, so you get there Thursday, you know, you put your tent up, you chill out, you have a few beers, and all that. Oh, I want to go see some bands. Who's on? Right, so previous years, now this wasn't a criticism when I first brought it up in a couple of other videos in the past with Brendan, but it's something that I noticed in this one, barring one band. This Thursday to me always felt like the, not joke, but the more party atmosphere bands, you know, like previous years, and a mix, you know, like, you know, things like that. There was, you know, previous years where it was like folk metal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This year they didn't really focus on that, barring one band, and in fact it's a lot more, I don't want to say quality is the word, you know, but a lot more like
a variation on that. So if people want some. Oh, I can't think of the words, because they're not to insult the bands and more party bands, because that's their thing. And
we've had great fun with them. I
really enjoy that.
Yeah. Red Rum and stuff like that.
Yeah, a variety of bands. And I think obviously now want to do it. They want to get people there on a Thursday to kind of get you ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
But just putting people there and saying just drink is going to cause like a lot of people just float around. A lot of people drink too much. Here's something to do.
Yeah, here's something to do.
We're open. Get started, but just not too early.
But also from a band perspective, you know, this is an opportunity for you to get one of the biggest crowds of the weekend, in regards to like your smaller stature, basically, so to speak.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, really good opportunity, isn't it? To
so like these previous bands might have played low down on the Sulfur stage, and now you're like you basically, you know, well, we'll start with the first one. If you're Barbarian Hermit, you're opening the festival. You're the first band playing. A lot of people are going to go just because they want to see some live music. Yeah. Even if they know nothing about you. Now, first off, can't tell you how happy I am at Barbarian Hermit. A great fucking band, great album last year. It was late last year. Barbarian Hermit, well worth checking out. Absolutely can't recommend them enough. If you're there and you're chilling in the campsite and you're thinking, I want to go see some music, make sure you get your ass over to Barbarian Hermit. They're a great band.
They've got their own beers and everything canned, so you can take some of them at the kind of campsite as well. So.
Strong though, it is fucking strong. Yeah, we've had some. Me and Brendan had some on a podcast, and it's it's strong. It gets halfway through, you kind of just like.
It's more like
my mouth is sticky.
It's more like stouty, isn't it? So
it's very thick, kind of. You know, dark. You know. And then we have Blind River. Do you know much of Blind River?
I think I'll give them a go, because I say what I do is I kind of squirrel away. Once I hear the announcements, I go to Spotify and then just kind of try and make like a little Spotify playlist. Yeah. So I've already started adding bands to it, and I think Blind River are quite sort of like to correct me if I'm wrong, called like stonery.
Stoner Doom, yeah.
I've really enjoyed them.
Yeah, so I reviewed their latest album. Yeah. Blind River are a great band. It's another one followed by Barbarian Hermit that's just like wicked. In fact, 4 out of 5 here I'm really happy about. The fifth one, I will get to them in a minute, but it's not because I'm not happy about them. It's just more about what I know. So yeah, 2 great bands in a row. Right, the fifth one I was referring to is the band I've got to talk about now, and it's Footprints in the Custard. Now here's the thing. I know nothing of them.
Yeah, they are. I quite like them.
Here's the thing: is I know nothing of them. That's the only reason why I'm saying 4 out of 5. It's purely because I haven't had a chance yet to listen to Footprints in the Custard and giving them I will near the festival time. It's as simple as that kind of thing. But right at this stage, I've not had the time, purely because of the amount of music we get into the site, and we constantly have to pump out reviews and things like that. They've not been on my radar for that reason. Yeah. I'm not doing a Bloodstock playlist in May. It's not happening.
No, I've already started. I know that they've got a song out at the moment, just to get an idea of what Footprints in the Custard are. A song called Click Commander.
Click Commander.
So yeah, and if you ever so that's a kind of it's not very highbrow, but on a Thursday at Bloodstock, I think they're going to get a good turnout.
I think their position is beautiful as well, because they're sandwiched in between the heavier, more, dare I say, serious bands.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's a space for everything, which is
they fit more into what I said at the start, the theme of more party thing, and I think they're going to get a huge crowd. Yeah. Purely out of curiosity as much as anything else. You know, my son said to me messaged me about Footprints in the Custard. You know, that the name made him laugh. Yeah. So do you see what I mean? Like, it's, so so there is that. So it is a good, and by that point I expect to be a couple of drinks in, so I expect to be more up for that kind of thing. I have no issue with party metal and stuff like that. Absolutely not. It can be great fun as long as it's good. That's it. But I can't comment too much because I haven't really given them a go. But I know they've got a pretty hardcore fan base out there on social media and stuff like that. So don't hang me out for that. I do plan to. It's just when, nearer the time. Then we get 10 Ton Slug. 10 Ton Slug, got a great band. Another one that I was really happy about.
Have we seen...
No, you're thinking of 10 Foot Wizard.
Yes.
10 Foot Wizard.
God, I was thinking... I've seen these before with the Hawaiian shirts pointing at Evil Scarecrow. Not that band.
No.
10 Ton Slug, I have yet to give a listen to.
It's one of those where it's like... they're heavy, of course. And it's they fit with what we've got elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think following Footprints in the Custard, I suspect they're going to struggle. As good as they can be, and as good as they are, and as good as their music is, I can see a bit of an exodus out of the tent.
Yeah, I think you take energy up and then back down again. But I'll be hanging around for them. So
particularly, same. Particularly as there'll be this gap between Footprints and the Custard, where people will probably just go out, maybe go get a drink, go chill out for a bit before what is the headline of Thursday night. And it's Rotting Christ. Now, this one really surprised me when it first was announced, because I didn't...
First announcement, wasn't it?
It was very early on. It was very early on, but I was really surprised by it because I thought Rotten Christ, I know it sounds stupid, bigger than this slot. But I love the ambition of Bloodstock to put a band of this size in the tent. I think it's going to be pretty busy in there, particularly following their latest album, which we gave 10 out of 10 and have raved about. Well, couldn't be happy about Rotten Christ, being part of it. In fact, last time they played Bloodstock, we missed them. We watched 2 songs of theirs because Morass...
did we? Yeah.
Knew enough of them. It was a couple of years ago off their previous album. I can't remember what it's called, because I remember they did the open with that banger of a tune on the main stage, and we watched that. But then Morass of Molasses were playing in the tent.
Slowly say that one.
And they're kind of like a big deal to us. So we were like, well, we're going to go see them. And that's what we chose to do. Whereas now it's like nothing else playing, no excuses, get to see Rotten Christ, because it'll be the first proper time having seen them.
And I think I can see why the festival would put them on the Thursday. It's kind of like, well, come down on Thursday evening, guys. Come early. If you was going to come Friday morning, you're on the fence about driving down Friday morning. Come down Thursday. We've got Rotting Christ.
It's a great finisher of Thursday night. A great way to sort of chill out. Just basically don't get too fucked, because been there, done that, and then you won't be much good come Friday morning. Yeah. So again, we're sticking with the selfie stage. We're only going to do selfie for now, as I said at the start, and we'll get to the main stage after. Now, this is going to be a bit more of a mix of where I don't know, I do know, or they've not got a lot to say, basically.
Yeah.
So we start off with Friday morning, and we've got Zealot Cult.
Okay, that's what that says. I'm already quite good at bands.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look closer at some of these already. A couple above, I'm like, shit, what does that say? But we'll get to that. Zealot Cult, I'm aware of them. I know I'm aware of the name. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what kind of music they play. So that's, I don't really have a lot to say on that, really.
Yeah, no, I'd say, again, what I do have, like, is my Spotify. I'll have a Sophie and a main stage one.
Yeah, we'll end up doing that probably for the drive down, that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, because I'd hate to miss out on a band just because I didn't kind of give a couple of tracks to listen to, because I've got plenty of time. We've got like 11 weeks now.
Oh, yeah. It's right around the corner,
But I love the fact when you find something new, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a couple of tracks, and then, I think I did that with, I think they were South African.
Deity's Muse?
No, we saw them on the Jägermeister. Kamikaze Test
Pilots. Kamikaze Test Pilots last year.
Spotify find.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, that was cool.
Brendan was banging to them, yeah. Then we have Control the Storm. Gonna be honest, Don't even have a clue. Don't recognise the name.
Have to give them a listen.
Yeah, don't know them. Yep. This one, it's Blasphemer. Blasphemer?
Blasphemer.
Again, unfortunately, not aware of who they are. Not
Death
aware of
metal
the music.
Old way, so we know what they are.
Yeah, death metal the old way is written underneath, so that makes it easy. They're a death metal band. Death metal and Bloodstock, they go hand in hand. Perfectly fine. Love death metal. There's a lot across the stages. We'll get more into that. Yep. DEFCON 1. I'm aware of them. I know their name. Never seen them live.
That looks like a hardcore kind. Not to judge it by its thing, but it
don't
looks
really
like
think
a
there is
kind of...
anything like that on this bill overall.
Just like this, because I'm thinking like Hatebreed and Madball have got styles like that with the. But maybe that's just me judging by logos.
It is, unfortunately, one I can't say loads and loads about either, but I can talk happily about Bong Cauldron, who are going to be fantastic. Glad they're on about halfway through the day, because, it should be free by that point from doing interviews and things like that, so guaranteed watching that one. Bong Cauldron, fantastic band. Damnation's Hammer. No, but
I'll give them a go. Like all of them.
You don't have to say you give them a go. Yeah, we will give them all a go. It's just at this stage as we're recording this on it's the 26th of May. So whenever this goes up on YouTube, it's purely just nearer the festival date, you will get a full review, a full breakdown where we go through it with Brendan as well, no doubt as well. Maybe we'll try and do a round table one where it's me, Lou, Brendan, and his wife Gemma. Who are all going to be there. We try to do a big round table discussion about it. It's particularly what we've learned since then. This is following the previous discussions that me and Brendan have had in YouTube videos and on the podcast about each announcement. This is just an overall one.
Yeah. Because with Brendan's wife Gemma, that Brendan and Gemma are more, I think bands like Windrose, when they played the Sophie stage, I think they knew Windrose slightly more than
there are some like that, yeah.
And they were bang into it, and they said, like, you've got to see this band. It was like...
Well, yeah, Kamikaze Test Pilots were one. I didn't know anything going into the festival, and I was encouraged to come based off Brendan's opinion.
So we're all very different, but it all really works for this.
Carabidis?
Yep, hearing my dad trying to say this on the phone was quite... I knew what he was trying to say, but I let him try and say it for 5 minutes. I was like, yes, that band, Dad.
Yeah.
Carabidis, I'm going to say it is.
Okay.
Carabidis.
So you're aware, you know them?
Yeah, I know them, they're good. Really good.
Style, can you describe it?
You're the reviewer.
I don't know, but I don't know this band, unfortunately. I'm not really listening to anything by them.
They are very heavy.
Yeah, okay.
So, bringing the heavy. So.
There you go, that narrows that one down, doesn't it, guys?
This is why I do all the reviews.
Yeah. Well, even when you're writing reviews, and sometimes you can say it's heavy. Sulfur, I don't know anything by Sulfur, I'm afraid. They're a band I need to check out, particularly as a high art. But Countless Skies, awesome band, leaning towards maybe more hard rock than anything else.
We seem to support someone.
That's a point we have.
We've seen to support someone because I recognise the name on a poster. Countless Skies. Maybe I sort of want to bill with Raise the Void.
Okay.
I was interested to go down, but we couldn't get to it.
Right, that might make sense, actually.
I think they're an Essex band. I'll have to look into that, but I think Essex band, and I think it's Raise the Void, another Essex band that I've played before. So
they're a great band. Good position for them as well, really high up in the stage. And then we get one of the more legendary bands, as it were, Raging Speedhorn, who we've seen a fair amount of time, including at Bloodstock. In fact, last time at Bloodstock, I think we saw them open the main stage, whereas they're second from top. Now, full disclosure, you're not going to like this, but this is and it's purely because I've seen Raging Speedhorn loads. They're not doing anything particularly fresh or new. Their position suggests they're probably going to clash with certain people higher up on the bill on the main stage. So for me, I can't really see it being this being an important one for me. If I've got fuck all going on, I'll go check it out. But again, I doubt I'll watch the whole set. It's Speedhorn. They do what they do. It's fast, punchy metal. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to get a huge crowd because this sort of band tends to be a bit diverse.
It all depends on the status of the main stage.
Of course it does. And we don't know that yet. So. Bloodstock's, we obviously can't talk about stage times, but Bloodstock's lineup tends to mirror roughly each year. So you can kind of do some educated guesses in regards to that. And this might be in the gap. Part of Raging Speedhorn will likely be in the gap between the second last band and the headliner. In that gap, with a bit of crossover into it. Yeah. But
so I think with Speedhorn, I think of bands like Orange Goblin.
No.
British band that kind of would bring it, but would attract a big crowd. So that's
but I think Goblin have respect. I don't know if Speedhorn do in the same way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love both, so I'm just talking from my own.
I like Speedhorn. It's not love, But then we go to the headliner of the Sophie Lancaster stage. Now, again, for your knowledge, if you don't know, obviously if you do, I'm preaching to the choir. The headliner of Sophie goes on after the main stage headline. It's effectively the real headliner, so to speak. Yeah. So your main stage finishes, and then either 5 minutes afterwards or very close afterwards, this starts in the Sophie 10. In fact, often there's a little bit of crossover as the main stage takes a little time to fill, and you'll be going back towards the campsite, and the headliners in the Sophie's already playing.
Yeah.
Over the years, we've been hit and miss about seeing certain bands. Normally, A, because we're fucking tired, or it's just not been for us, or that kind of thing. You know, like last year, we saw Orphan Land absolutely kill it,
that was amazing, yeah.
but then we didn't see Watain. You know, it's things like that. We miss, or we did watch maybe 2 or 3 songs of Watain actually.
Was that because that was a Sunday, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, we tend to go home by then. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But Friday's headliner is one that I will be seeing because I've never seen them live. The new album recently called Wolf something. I reviewed it. I can't believe I remember the name of it.
Not Wolf. Oh, yeah.
Wolf God? I think it might be Wolf God, actually.
Yeah, something like that. Did we not see a bit of... Didn't we see a bit of... Or did we miss them? They were supporting Amon Amarth.
And Testament. No, we missed Grantmakers and got there as Testament were 2 songs in. Yeah. So
we get to make up for that, don't we?
Yeah, it's Grantmakers, basically. Awesome heavy metal band. They're doing some good stuff, putting some good stuff out. It's going to be great. They'll be on for an hour. That's that hour slot. That's a good hour. That's a good hour to wrap up Friday, I think.
And I think the vocals on Grantmakers like set him apart from other bands.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think his vocals are so powerful.
They're a riff machine. That's it to me. That's what I described in the album. They're a riff machine. So looking forward to that. Right, the Parallax Method.
See, I think that we've seen Parallax. I'm not sure if they're a local band. I'm sure there's Parallax rings a bell of someone that we've seen on like All Days Kent. So I have to look into that. Or maybe they're called Parallax before and they've added the method part. So again, I have to look into them. I don't know anything by them thing.
Odd Crew? I can't read this. I'm gonna have to.
I'm gonna say Crew, but
Odd Crew.
Yes.
Just the way that was spelled, I couldn't work out what I was in between. Yeah. And the fact I've had to look it up tells you how little I know about them. I'm afraid I literally know nothing. I haven't even heard of them, I'm afraid. Shapes with we're aware of them. There was a bit of divisiveness regarding them.
What, are they more like metalcore-y?
What's it called? So it's kind of just wait and see, really, in that front. Guardians of the Tide. Now, I don't know these.
Guardians of Time, innit?
Guardians of Time. Tide. Bad eyes, people. Guardians of Time. So I don't know this band, but going off the name, I'm hoping for, because there's not enough power metal across this bill. No. So I hope they're power metal, because these could be a bit of power metal.
I do like a bit of power metal, Bloodstock. Like seeing Glory Hammer, that was one of my highlights.
Yeah, you know,
things like that. It goes down so well with beer at a festival. So.
And for the last 3 years, we've done 10 bands we would like to have booked for the next Bloodstock, and each year we put to our side and still waiting.
Yeah, we are still waiting for that. Even after seeing them this year, we were thinking.
Just because we've never seen them at Bloodstock, we think it'll fit like fuck, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. But then we get Red Method, a band we're way more familiar with. We knew of them being, UK band and stuff like that, but we did just recently see them at Incineration Fest. Yep. The sound wasn't great. They had a bit of a struggle in the Black Heart, but we saw enough promise to make them an interesting watch. And
he's quite intense front man.
Yeah, and on that stage in Sophie Lancaster will be good. They're well worth checking out, basically.
Oh no, sorry, I'm reading the one above. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Already, it's like shit. We're gonna have to click that one. Dustbolt.
Again, I think I've seen the name on little festivals we try and get to, but can't get to everything we want to go to. So again, just to give them a go.
Yep, and then we get Helheim with a logo that's near unreadable. I don't know them.
Nope.
In fact, across the stage, I'd say there's quite a bit I don't know. Saturday's stage is a little bit more like, you know. Yeah. Three-Headed Snake.
No.
Nope. No. Generation Kill. Do know Generation Kill. That's fine. Generation Kill. Yeah. Good bit of metal there. It's one of those where it's like it's not unspectacular, because that sounds like a disservice. Yeah. But you're not going to be like getting major surprises there, that kind of thing, you know. Okay. Skeletal Remains, thrash, fucking thrash. It's that, you know. It's a thrash band. Cool, you know.
I like a bit of that.
Yeah. And then the Saturday night headliner. We've already got to that point. That's how little we knew about this stage.
There's so many bands I can't pronounce.
It's Talk.
Talk. Okay.
It's not, you don't elongate just because it's two A's.
So
It's Talk. That's at least how I say it.
Norwegian?
Is it Norwegian? I don't know if it's
Black
specifically
metal?
Norwegian. It was
I know
black
black
metal. Of course, he's black metal. He's one of the most iconic black metal artists out there. Never seen him live. Truth be told, I'm not massively fussed about seeing him live in that sense. But as it's an opportunity, provided I'm feeling it, it will be one like I'll at least want to check out a bit of it. You know, I like my black metal, but the old school style of black metal, it depends on the band. It depends how they perform it and stuff like that. So I am intrigued to sort of see what kind of frontman he is and how the band plays and yeah.
I think we've been spoiled as well, like because there's been so much like more people doing more with black metal. The old style stuff seems a bit.
Well, it's weird because
more like what's the word, legacy than anything interesting.
Yeah, I mean the current trend in black metal is to be a bit more atmospheric, mix it up, post black metal and things like that. And there's plenty and great stuff in that, but. Yeah. You know, I won't lie, I still love a bit of old school black metal. So it just depends on that, really.
Yeah.
Then we get to Sunday. So Sunday under Sophie's stage. We start off with Harbinger. Harbinger?
I've checked them out.
Yep.
I can't remember exactly. I really enjoyed them just because I think I heard a bit of buzz to go listen to them and I really enjoyed them. Again, I need to kind of make notes of what type of music, but I really enjoyed them.
Cool. Then we get Witch Tripper. Very, very happy about Witch Tripper being there. Witch Tripper are one of the highlights. I think it's a disservice them being on this low on that stage, if I'm honest. But Witch Tripper, fantastic band. In fact, if you're going to the Essex Metal to the Masses final at the end of June, you can catch Witch Tripper there as one of the special guest headliners for the entire run of shows. So make sure you're going to that. You make sure you stay around for Witch Tripper because they're a great, great band. Great fun. Great, yeah, just a good band. Solitary. Nope.
Not heard of them.
Sorry, guys. We will check. As Lou said several times over, we will check all you out.
To say it every time.
And we will come back to this at the end, nearer the festival, and hopefully be able to offer a little bit more changing opinions on it. Wheel, I don't know. No? Again, Jesus, never even heard of them. No. You know? Definitely know this one, though.
Yeah, Boss Keloid.
Boss Keloid, yeah. Awesome band. Seen them live a few times. Very, very happy they're there. They should pull in a great crowd as well. One of the really, really, really exciting bands to see.
Boston Music Room, they were so loud, but like really.
Yeah, they were with OMS for that one, OHMS. So really happy with that one. Razin, yep, I know of them.
Razin or Resin?
What am I saying? What
are you saying?
Again, it's a name I know. Yeah, it's Resin. What's some Razin for? We're gonna fuck in the ring. Yeah, good band. Know of them, you know, in that sense that they make enough noise, so we well worth checking out. Crescent.
Another one on our little tick list of what we have to check out.
But Vile Blast, amazing. Can't wait for them. Really happy with them. Came our way this year.
Oh, so new album to kind of play then.
Yeah. They're currently doing stuff. So very, very happy with that. Good old fashioned thrash mixed with death, black and thrash, that kind of stuff. You know. Excellent. Blood Red Hourglass.
No,
they're third from top, so
I'm always happy to find new stuff. So
yeah, so they must have a big enough following in that sense. I'm surprised this band is so high up. I will be honest, this next band we're about to talk about, because they are really an odd one out in the Bloodstock lineup. And when we last saw them, they were with another band in the Black Heart in Camden. So to see them so high up, it's very strange. But I'm not unhappy about it. No, and it's the Lazies.
They were Aussie rock and roll.
Yeah.
The guitarist went all the way across on someone's shoulders to the bar to get a drink and then come back again. Yeah. It's just all like proper like AC/DC Airborne, just good old rock and roll, which is nice to break it up because it is.
And by this point, I'll imagine we'll be quite flagging. We normally are by this point. So maybe this will be a pick-me-up, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then we get the headliner, which is LVTA, which is sort of symphonic metal. I know they're a popular band, but they do very little for me.
Yeah, it's female fronted, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not my favourite kind.
We might end up seeing a bit of it because our process is we normally leave Sunday night, drive home Sunday night, and to do that, we normally wait till after the last headliner, let the crowd sort of disappear a bit, car parks empty a bit and stuff like that, and then roll out about midnight, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we might end up catching a bit of this, but it's not high on my list. It's not. Put it this way: when it was announced, I didn't go woohoo, you know.
Yeah. I checked out a few songs, but I didn't.
But I know they're very popular, and a lot of people are happy about
this.
And
again, Bloodstock, they'll fit perfectly Bloodstock. So
yeah. That's the Sophie Lancaster stage lineup. I think right now, if you just went off what we sort of said as we went through the band, you can see there's quite a bit that we're already quite into, and a lot that we still need to check out. You know, that if that was just what we were seeing at a festival, I think we'd have enough already to make it warrant, a trip in that sense.
Like
Obviously, depending upon money, of course, how much it costs. But I think the lineup on the Sulfur stage is strong enough with your headliners and your sort of sub bands and things that you don't know you're worth checking out. More than worth it. But of course, they will end up clashing with many bands on the main stage. So we'll end up having that problem where it's about what we go see. So we're going to talk about the main stage now. We'll start off with Friday because there are no main stage bands on the Thursday, as I said. And we begin. Now, the reason why I've dropped in this a couple of times where I said, well, revisit this when our minds have changed about certain bands haven't heard music. Because the band we're about to start with is a band whose and I'm going to say our as in me, you, and Brendan's mind have completely changed about based upon one live performance that we witnessed at Incineration Fest. So the opening band on Friday in a difficult position because not difficult for this place because it's Friday night start, but any opening band in the main stage is always a thing. A problem it's not going to be that busy.
People might not come down till later Friday.
And it's Insight. Insight. So basically, for clarity and just sort of own up to it and say, I couldn't have cared less about Insight at first. I'd heard the new album and I thought it was fine. I thought it was nothing special. And if I'm going to be particularly rude, I thought there's a band that's basically going to make its living based on name value. Cavalera name, more than anything else.
Yeah, just say I wanted to go see them at Incineration.
I didn't even want to go see them at Incineration Fest. I hadn't planned to see them, but ultimately it was like, okay, cool, let's go in the underworld and see Insight. And I was like, oh, cool, it's pretty much empty. That's all right. I can stand there, have a beer and stuff like that. By the end, there are videos on the site's Facebook page where you can see my idiot fucking self bopping past Brendan and so on, I'm the guy still somehow holding onto his hat in that video, and at one point skipping because the pit wasn't going fast enough to run. So I sort of skipped and then I realised I looked like a tit. But it turns out Insight were fucking great. We gave them 10 out of 10. One of two bands that we gave 10 out of 10 at Incineration Fest review, which you can read over on the site. It's infectious. Richie Cavalera as a front man,
passionate about what he does and it comes across.
They didn't play to many. That place was empty, but it felt like they were playing. They didn't care. They could have been playing to 10,000. Yeah, such was the passion and energy.
Yeah, and people still were crowd surfing, really getting into it. I thought I was going to witness someone's death as I was trying to assist him over me, and then he just dropped to the floor, and I thought, oh god, someone's died. But the crowd got bang into it, and like you said, it was going to go down so well.
It's going to be, I think it's going to surprise quite a few people. And it's definitely now one that I'm like, I really don't want to miss it. I'm going to be trying to book interviews around it, that kind of thing, more than anything else. So there's that. So then we get Zentrix. I know the name, but I'm not really familiar with their music.
Again, I've given them a go. I need to make notes. That's why I don't really do reviews, but I do go and
we don't need notes for this. This isn't about that. It's about being honest. I don't want to lie to people and say, this band's this and this band's that.
Definitely, because Zentrix, it kind of name stands out, and I was like, okay,
I know the name, that kind of thing.
So again, a bit more of them.
But definitely the name of the next one, it's Death Angel, the legendary Death Angel. Now, again, I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't too bothered either way. I was like, well, I've never seen them live. They're legendary. Let me check them out. But their new album, Humanicide, at this point of recording, is not out. It's out next week or this coming week. In fact, our review, as of time of recording, goes up in a couple of hours, in an hour and a half. And I gave it 9 out of 10. I loved it. And I sort of suggested in it that, these old guys coming out and being like, you new style of modern thrash bands and stuff like that. This is how we do it. Yeah. It certainly piqued my interest more. I'm like, well, at least you're not just you're not just best of. You're not just going out there and being like, hey, we're still sort of dragging our sorry old asses out onto a stage. You're still bringing fresh music and good fresh music. Yeah. It's a great new album, Humanicide. So make sure you check it out. But yeah, Death Angel have suddenly become I really want to check them out kind of band. Yeah. Metal Church.
I feel like I should know. I don't.
Supergroup, so to speak.
Oh, okay, that's one, yeah.
So, Supergroup, new album was out earlier this year, I believe. Yeah, earlier this year. I enjoyed it. It's not massively high on my priority list where I'm like, I really must get to see this. Yeah. But provided it isn't clashing with something better on the Selfie stage, I'll definitely check out a bit of it for sure.
Some of the members? It's big names.
Oh, don't ask me to start naming the names. No. God damn it. No. A supergroup, big enough names in that sense. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Then Soulfly.
Yeah.
Yay! Very excited about Soulfly.
Are you?
Yes.
See,
I love Soulfly.
I love Soulfly too.
It's always got good memories for me. Because I only died in a mosh pit after realising I shouldn't be in a mosh pit.
I love them too,
Hardcore.
but it's not that I'm like, oh, I don't want to see them.
It would put Cavalera.
If there's something better on that I'm more like, I want to see those, be it on the New Blood or Sulfur, I'm probably going to go check them out and watch a bit of Soulfly. I've seen Soulfly more times than I can count.
I think it's kind of like comfortable, and I think if it was that or Cavalera Conspiracy, I think you would have been like,
oh yeah, Cavalera. I've been more excited for, you know.
Last year's album would have been like, yeah, it would have been really good.
Yeah, you know, and it's like we'll get a good Soulfly set once Max Cavalera is one of the most important men in rock and metal, you know. So, and you know, if you're only there for Roots, you'll get it, of course. So you'll get that as well.
And so if Max come out playing like a harmonica or a flute, I think people would still be like banging into it because he play it passionately.
Yeah,
that's the thing about Max. Like whatever he does, he puts passion into it. So you're always gonna be drawn to him. So
yeah,
it'll be a good crowd for that.
Children of Bodom. Children of Bodom are next. It's Bodom.
Forgetting bands.
Yeah, happy with Children of Bodom. New album's really, really good as well. Yeah, they're a great live band.
They were good last. They were there. I think they were the first Bloodstock we went to because I think that's why Brenda come down.
Okay.
Bodom?
Maybe.
I think it was, but it was quite a few bands to draw in Brendan the first time, Brendan Gemma. So I think maybe that's where they first played. But yeah, they always bring a good set. And
then the music takes a bit of a different turn, to be told. One that I can see struggling to bring in a massive crowd, just because of the style is Tesseract. Now, I really like Tesseract. I love the new album, Sonder. Even though on the site-wise, other writers disagreed with me on that one, so it is a polarising thing. And I saw them live this year, late last year at the Shepherd's Bush, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm not too sure how this is going to go down in the Sun, potentially Sun, hopefully Sun, main stage, and so on.
What are they? I don't know. I'll probably listen to a few tracks, but I can't.
I mean, they are heavy. They've got breakdowns and they've got things like that, but there's a lot more electronica used. You know, that kind of thing. There's a bit of post to it.
I'm thinking they're another big band. Periphery, that's what I'm
thinking. Oh, they're not Periphery. God, no.
I don't know why I put them in the same category. Yeah.
I don't know why,
I'm confused.
So, I mean, I think Tesseract will be certainly an interesting watch. I would like to check them out, but again, it's all dependent as always, anything like that. Then we have Powerwolf, and I'm going to be honest about this one. I don't really care.
I quite enjoyed the last album, so I'd be...
The reason being as well is the fact that it's Powerwolf, then we'll talk about it now, Sabaton.
It's quite similar.
That might be too much.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping there'll be something great on elsewhere. I mean, that won't be during Speedhorn. So, I mean...
You might have to change your fist pumping hands for them too.
Yeah, like one... it's tired now and go this. I'm not massively fussed with Powerwolf, but I know they're popular and they're likely to bring in a big crowd. Which leads us, as we already said, to Sabaton, who are the Friday night headliners. We saw Sabaton a couple of years ago when they were sub-headliners to Trivium. And they completely outshone Trivium. They played for an hour and we loved it.
Tanks and confetti and fire.
It was just good fucking fun. Good. And they're likely to bring a hell of a show here. So there's that as well. Visually, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see how like an hour and a half of it goes. If it doesn't get a bit samey at certain points.
Yeah, because we've never seen that much of them.
Of them, yeah.
So it's a good challenge to kind of keep the energy up. Because obviously there's the hardcore that be like, they can watch everything 3 hours worth and not be bored, but there's people that like partial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a headliner I'm happy with in that sense. Like I'm happy with it. It's a good way to end Friday. It should be fun, if nothing else. Yeah. You know?
And that's why it's been the thing of Bloodstock, isn't it? We see like Twisted Sister was the Friday.
Not always. Down was a headliner Friday, weren't they? Down of fun. Yeah, it's not specific to that.
Oh, yeah.
Trivium? They weren't fun.
Yeah, scratch that.
Yeah. Right, so we get to Saturday then. Saturday, and we begin with Crystilla.
Oh, Chrysler? Like the car? God, we like this band. So that's really bad. I think I still need to work out to say the name properly.
Yeah.
Apologies. But yeah, I really enjoy this band.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen them before. Did we see them on Sophie stage before? I think we checked them out on Sophie stage before.
Okay, maybe.
We have seen them, definitely seen them before.
Okay, don't remember anything, so that's not a good sign.
We did see a lot of gigs though, so
yeah, fair enough.
Forgive us for that, but yeah, I enjoyed them.
Then we get Cancer Bats. Cancer Bats. This was a lot of people weren't too happy when this was announced. Didn't really get why.
Yeah,
Cancer Bats are great.
Yeah, they are. They're not Bloodstock bands. So you do get people that do say that. Give them a go. There's plenty to see at Bloodstock, so yeah, I'm happy. I don't think I've seen them live.
Yeah, no, I've definitely. Well, they did a joint tour with While She Sleeps.
Yes.
So there was that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with Cancer Bats. So we get Swallow the Sun, who I've seen recently in the Underworld. They're going to bring that mood down, man. They're going to bring that mood down. And if they've only got like 30 minutes, that's like 2 songs. Come on, guys.
It's when it clouds over. That'll be them.
Yeah, they are depressive metal, basically. That's kind of how they describe it. They'll bring the clouds over.
And then Evil Scarecrow will blow them away.
Yeah, then it's like, then you get Swallow. It's gonna, yeah, that's quite funny actually. That it goes Swallow the Sun, then Evil Scarecrow. It couldn't be more fucking different. Yeah. It's been it's not been a while since we saw Evil Scarecrow. So we actually saw them at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Based off the new album and Antarctica, which is a good album as well. We went through phases of Evil Scarecrow where we had too much of them, so we kind of went away from them for a while. And we're kind of back on the train again, thanks to the new album. The show they did at the Bodom was good fun. And they're perfect. They're a Bloodstock band. They are a Bloodstock band. Yeah. They will bring in a huge crowd. They've always brought in a huge crowd. Yeah. So there's nothing to suggest any different here. In fact, I can see like either band, either side of them struggling while everyone just sort of prepares themselves for Evil Scarecrow. It'll be the equivalent if you were there last year of Ailstorm's crowd, that kind of thing. Yeah. Because there aren't, and particularly for the rest of this day, there aren't any other bands like them.
No, so they are kind of their own section, aren't they?
Yeah.
Part like Bloodstock Saturday. Yeah.
And if you're like, I don't know, you don't know who Evil Scarecrow are, well, obviously go check them out. But they are what we've referred to at the start as a party band.
Watch some YouTube videos of live performances.
Yeah.
Get a good idea.
Look at the last Bloodstock live performances and things like that. So, get an idea of them.
Get scuttling.
After, basically, everyone having what will be a good time, Thy Art is Murder will be a different kind of show. Thy Art is Thy Art. They play extremely hard, extreme metal, death metal.
Angry Eyes.
I think they will do fine. I'm not massively excited for it. If I can watch them, I will.
Outside, I think the intense stuff works better inside. I
think they'll be better on the Sophie stage.
Yeah, and it'd be good. I'm quite glad to see that bit of them though, because we missed because of Alexandra Palace's shocking queuing system. They were very wrong. We didn't exactly leave late to see them. It was just a queuing system we couldn't get in.
We missed a part of.
And a lot of people did. So a lot of people I read a few comments on forums. People saying, "What the hell? We wanted to go see Vitus Murder, couldn't get into the actual venue."
Yeah,
because you kind of heard us.
That's Alexandria Palace's crap queuing system.
So to see a bit more of what from the new album would be good.
Yeah, and I can actually see this section of the main stage basically for the hardcore Bloodstocker, if that's what you want to call them. From Thy Art is Murder up to a certain point.
Ale time.
Yeah, being far away from this because that's followed by Code Orange. Now, Code Orange are obviously making quite a name for themselves in the metal world.
Oh, I know them.
Well, recently they did like a single with Corey and stuff like that. They do Alistair Black's theme song.
That's why I know.
In the wrestling world. Shit. I never want to say this, but I'm going to say it. I don't get it. I've given Code Orange many goes. We reviewed their albums, reviewed their singles.
Not for you?
Nah. Okay. No, they're fine. But the sort of I guess that certain other metal magazines or websites have those places like to stick their pins, their flag to one band and then champion them regardless. And that's been the case with Code Orange, where it seems like certain other ones, in this country were like, this is the next big thing, and it's like, why? I couldn't hear anything as to why, and that's kind of what got with Code Orange. Not for me. Not for me. I'm not bothered. No way. Then it's Cradle of Filth. Again, another divisive one because, for everyone that loves Cradle, there's 10 people who hate them.
Yeah, I love Cradle.
Well, we love Cradle. So. We're big fans of them. We're big fans of where they are now in their careers and stuff like that. So happy with Cradle of Filth. Yeah. Always a great show.
And obviously back after, I don't know how many years ago.
The infamous Gobstopper incident.
I hope the people that did that are ashamed and never become Bloodstock again, because I feel that's just disgraceful.
Well, yeah, basically the story is Bloodstock back in the day used to sell Gobstoppers, big
sweet,
which even when I say, I'm like, that's insane. Never, obviously they don't sell them anymore, but they used to sell them, and someone launched that, and I think they hit one of the guitarists in the spine or in the back.
Yeah.
Did something like that that caused Cradle to have to cut their set short or just storm off stage or something like that.
So understandable why I think it would take.
Well, fuck that person, because Gobstopper or not, that's the equivalent of throwing a rock.
Yeah.
You throw a rock at a band. So, what the fuck.
I am happy that they're back again on the main stage.
We seem to have gone away from the days, at least from my perspective, of people even throwing drinks and things like that.
Yeah, like you know, the whole thing of like, I think it was Reading, was it 2001, 2002, where obviously that's Daphne and Celeste did Reading and got bottles of piss thrown at them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, those days seem to be long gone, so that's good, you know. And this year, Bloodstock's pushing a more greener thing, so I'm hoping we'll also see less throwing of plastic, just generally plastic cups. Put them in a bin, simple as that. Yeah.
People, yeah.
But yeah, let's not go into that too much.
No positives. So.
Then we go to the legendary Anthrax. Now, this is not a knock on Anthrax at all, but basically, I feel I've seen Anthrax way too many times at Bloodstock. Way too many times at Bloodstock, way too many times overall. So these are not a watch for me, unless I've got nothing else to do. But I'm sure I'll find something else to do. It's just they're good, they're Anthrax and they're great and they're fine and so on. But we're going to get nothing new here. No. We're going to get the same stuff. And to me, it's just like I've seen it so much already.
If it was John Bush with Anthrax,
but it's not. It's,
I know. If it was, then I'd be like, yeah, sweet. Because the last time was with Joey. This time,
but you're acting like it's like a revolving door. It's not anymore. It hasn't been that way in a while.
I know.
Belladonna's been in the band now, back in the band for at least 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I know. If I could pick and choose.
Yeah, but you're not.
I'm sitting with both, so
we're not doing what we want. No. We're doing what's there.
Yeah. So yeah, fair play, but not for us this year.
Yeah. So Anthrax, it's not for me purely because of too many times burnout on them, you know. And then we get the Parkway Drive, which is the obviously most divisive headliner of all. Caused massive amount of outrage. To the point where Bloodstock, even had to come out and sort of go on Facebook and say like, stop doing personal insults and stuff like that. Right, so let's not beat around the bush. I like the think that we're fairly on our site, and we'll tell you how it is. If you have a problem with Parkway Drive being there, and you've always gone in the past and stuff like that, you're off your fucking nut. This They're Not Metal thing is absolutely just because they're not your type of metal. That's dumb as fuck. It's one of the dumbest things. I will ask you to go back and look at previous years and tell me what the difference is. Twisted Sister, why were they allowed to be there? Just because they're a legendary band, but they're not a metal band in that sense. No. What's it called? Within Temptation, stuff like that. All these people, Ghost. And you can say, well, you weren't okay with them either. Well, what are you okay with? Yeah. What had to be the headliner? Stop naming fucking bands that aren't big enough to headline things. Use your brain here. Stop being stupid about it.
We've got to a point as well where a lot of the older bands are either... well, they're still not around anymore. Members are ill and dying. It sounds a sad fact, but when you get to these points in time, a lot of these older bands are finishing up.
No, but the stock has dropped.
You have to have new. Yeah.
The stock has dropped. Will Death Angel as a headliner pull in the money for Bloodstock? Yeah. We all know the answer is no. We all know the answer is no. And this isn't Bloodstock becoming Download Light or anything like that. Look at the rest of the bands we've fucking listed across this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's a wide array for everything here, but still in the heavier side of things. And right now, Parkway Drive are the hottest thing in metal.
Yeah, so of course they snap them up and take them. So.
It is what it is. It is what it is. And I think they're a worthy headliner. It's not something that's going to come around again. I didn't want Slayer again. I didn't want Slayer doing Bloodstock as their final tour. It would have been fine if they were announced, but I didn't want it because
they wanted as well. Download have got them and they've put them on second stage.
Yeah, Download happened last year and put them the headliners as a second stage.
No, it's this year. The last part of the tour is Slayer. This year.
Oh, Slayer! I thought they put them in Parkway. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Slayer this year.
Yeah, like put them on second stage as the headliners.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's within it's within Bloodstock's remit if you compare them to Download. But it's just kind of like, it's like, they always give bands a chance. People say, well, they're doing it for Sabaton. But Sabaton are X amount of years into their career.
I think I was more disappointed about Trivium. Like, I wouldn't kind of not go to the festival. But I think I was a little bit more about Trivium than Parkway Drive. But I think you've got to give people chances, headliners. So I'd say Trivium, they did really well. So, and obviously people give them a chance. Parkway Drive, we've seen they're going to bring some fire.
Yep. It'll be a show.
The front man, he knows how to put on a show. And they must know they're going to... They look at Bloodstock's past history and go, right, we need to bring some heavy stuff. We've got to literally...
They have so much heavy stuff.
Yeah, that's what... Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, you've just got to...
They'll adapt their set list, no doubt, to fit Bloodstock and stuff like that. But all of that, they seem like nice dudes, and they are one of those where you can be like, yeah, there's a bit of a future in this band, like properly future in this band. They've been going for a while, and they've kind of changed their sound to what they are now. I think it's one of those, they all don't like it, don't see it thing. And this actually applies because of the whole way. And you're like, well, what's the headliner? But if you're just going for the headliners, you're going for the wrong reason. Yeah. If that headliner was enough to make you decide, I'm not going to go, then I don't know. That's a problem with the overall bill for you. It's as simple as that.
I think unless you're a booker for a festival, you're not going to get everything you want. I think you'd have to like go to specific tours to see the bands you want.
Of course, it's still a festival. Just go have a beer, chill out. Don't ruin it for the people that want to see it. Basically, it's as simple as that. We're happy with it.
Yeah, I've seen before people watching bands with their backs turned and stuff, with their fingers up at the band. I'm like, no, you could go and drink.
That's less likely because they're headlines. I said to you what I suspect will happen with Parkway is it'll start off quite packed. Interest, and then as people are like, it's not for me, that will happen. It'll thin out a bit, but their headliners still pulling a big crowd. Particularly with day tickets. I think people might come down with day tickets specifically for that more than anything else.
Give them a go.
Yeah. Well, then we get to Sunday, the last day of the festival, and we start with the main stage of All Hail the Yeti.
Nope, but I like the name.
I know nothing. Yeah, nothing about him, so not much to say about.
Yeti. I don't know if it's like a jokey name or what. I don't know. I'll give them a go. Aborted.
Of course, it's Aborted.
I've seen them.
I saw them last year as part of the TerraVision.
We've ingested in that.
That
was good.
Yep.
That was good.
Yep. Great band. Happy with Aborted. Really happy to see that.
Some nice ballads in there.
Yeah. Don't be that straightforward. It's Aborted. It's
Face
fine.
Melting. Good.
Ross the Boss.
I should like it. Is this one of them bands where?
He's just a legendary guy, innit?
Wow.
I mean, it's one of those I might check out if I'm there. It is what it is. Yeah. Then we get the Soilwork. Soilwork should be well worth a watch. Soilwork released a damn good album this year. Very early on. I sort of pegged it. I remember back in January, I was like, oh, this could be one of the albums of the year. It's not even going to be close in the end.
Is it the one with the snaky on the front? No, I'm thinking of Codex.
What's call it? You throw me off now.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to picture the album.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the year, like it was like going to be like, one of the albums of the year, but then that turned out not to be. Imagine, thanks to just a great output from other bands, it is, it is fine. But Soilwork, it'll be good. Melodic metal, yeah, cool. Hypocrisy, obviously a legendary name, but I don't know much by them, truth be told.
That's really bad. There's loads of these legendary ones I've not heard.
Yeah, but it's just you've never crossed paths with them. There's no good reason to do it.
I'm thinking sort of. Yeah, I'll give them a go. But
yeah,
black metal, Hypocrisy, Black Death.
What's call it? So then we get to Dee Snider. Dee Snider, obviously the legendary Twisted Sister front man. Yeah. What's call it? Don't go to this expecting Twisted Sister. Let's just get that clear. He's not going to be doing Twisted Sister songs. I doubt he'll even put any in there. Because he's got his own solo stuff. This is his solo work.
His thing, innit?
Twisted Sister's behind him. This will be his solo work. If people are going expecting to hear maybe one or two Twisted Sisters, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you already know he does, then I'm wrong. Fair enough. Yeah. But I'd be very surprised. His solo stuff's good. His solo stuff's fine. I love Dee Snider. I'm a big fan of the person himself, so I definitely would like to check a bit of that out for sure. Sticking with the classic, Queensryche.
I don't know anything.
The new album, I didn't really know much, but other than the obvious stuff from Operation Mindcrime and stuff like that, I knew the hits. The new album, can't remember the title of it, was pretty good as well. I've never seen them live, so I'd probably check out a bit of them to say I've seen Queensryche at least,
Yeah, again, they're one of them sort of bands that I'd like to give a go and see for a little bit, but I don't know anything about
it. And then the sub-headliner is Dimmu Borgir. This is an interesting one, purely because it's like, right, so Dimmu Borgir were basically the kind of band that got me into black metal, as turned me on to their black metal, and obviously from that I found heavier, older stuff as well and things like that. But Dimmu Borgir were the first sort of band that I discovered in that style. I was like, oh, this is quite cool and quite good and all that. But truth be told, I've not really been a fan for a while now. No. The last couple of albums have been very either average to poor for me, and the last couple of times we've seen them live. Haven't been great either.
What was the last time? Oh, I can't remember the last
time.
Bloodstock. Oh, yeah.
Where they basically, their set didn't start for like 20 minutes. Apparently some issue with the drummer's click track. And it was really short. It just wasn't very spectacular.
Yeah. So I hope they redeem themselves this time. And
yeah, that's kind of what this is. This is a redeeming moment for them. Higher
up as well? I think they're higher up.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're second from top. So they're going to get leased now. But this is one of those where it's like, I want to see them because it's been a while, and I like enough of theirs that makes it worthwhile. but almost like last chance saloon for them for me.
Yeah.
If this sucks and it's a bad set, or they get pissy or stroppy, or something goes wrong, you know, so I know that could be out of their hand, but it might just be like, okay, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, like, so hopefully it'll be a bit darker by then as well. So obviously, if you've got bring it with them, it'll kind of make more effect. It's a little bit.
They're not going to have much of a show. They're second from on. You know, second from on rarely does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get to the headline of the last band. Well, not last band because that's Ulvutier, but Scorpions.
Stage.
The main stage last headliner band is Scorpions, and this was the one headliner I was like, like, you know, what I said about Parkway Drive is about some people. This is me for Scorpions. I get why they're there, but that actually, no, now I mention it, for all those who say Parkway Drive aren't metal, Scorpions are there. Oh, but they're a legendary rock band. It's like they're the Scorpions.
And I think a lot of people kind of, they'll give them a free pass, and again it'll be off their tickets and stuff like that. And again, like, it'll be a few songs. Like, what was it? Went to see Europe at Ramsden Man.
Yeah.
Final Countdown come on, smashed it, and other songs people were like, I don't know this one. So it would be the classic hits for the Scorpions for me that I like, know a few of, but I don't know much at all about the Scorpions.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. It's as simple as that. I'm not a fan, you know. Even their hits, the ones we all know, I don't really care for. I struggle to see how this band is the size they are. I really don't care. That's as simple as that. To me, it's not. To me, as a headliner to end a festival, it's perfect. And as stupid as that sounds, it's because I know I'll be pretty tired at this point, and I'll be like, right, we're going to be heading off soon.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's not a band that I'm like, oh, I need to really be excited about.
And see the whole thing.
No, not at all. Yeah. So yeah, that's the 2 stages. You see lots and lots of bands to check out, so make sure you do. We'll come back to this in a few months' time, and we'll see where the lay of the land lies with more people involved. But yeah, that's our Bloodstock rundown of the 2 main stages. Yeah, and of course, if you're still thinking about going, dude, the tickets are still available. In fact, day tickets are on sale now, I believe, as well.
And like 31st of May.
All right, 31st of May is day tickets. So make sure you check that out. And of course, thank you for watching. Check out the site, gbhbl.com, all our social media, GBHBL, and like and subscribe.